In this life, everyone will have moments of weariness, moments of looking around and realizing there is no one to lean on. There are nights of tossing and turning when the heart grows heavy with nameless thoughts. The more we think, the more we suffer. The more we worry, the sadder we become. In a city filled with bright lights, countless hearts still feel lost. Amid the lively laughter of others, there are still lonely souls forcing themselves to smile. It seems that everyone in this world is carrying an invisible burden, a burden of worries, a burden of responsibilities, a burden of things they cannot speak. And then, in the quietest moments of the night, when all sounds fade and only our own sigh remains, we finally realize how truly tired we are. The older we grow, the less we speak. The more we experience, the more silent we become, because we understand that some things, even if spoken, no one can truly understand, and some sorrows can only be understood by our own heart. Sometimes all we want is a quiet place, a deep breath, to let go of everything tangled within. Some find refuge in music, some in the warmth of alcohol, some simply sit by the window, longing for a little peace, but all of these are only temporary. True peace does not lie outside, but within our own mind. The Buddha taught that though the body may live in the world, the mind must know how to rest in stillness. If the mind is chaotic, even in a quiet temple, peace will not arise. But if the mind is calm, even in the noisy marketplace, the heart remains free and unshaken. Therefore, if we wish for peaceful sleep, if we wish for a tranquil body and mind, the first thing to seek is not a place without noise, but a mind without wandering thoughts. Just as the moon can only reflect on a still lake, we can only see our true self when our mind becomes quiet. There is a small story about a man who came to a Zen master, lamenting that every night he could not sleep, his mind restless, his thoughts unsettled. The master said nothing. He simply invited the man to sit down and poured a cup of hot tea. The steam rose gently, and a soft fragrance filled the silent room. The master slowly asked, "Do you hear the water boiling?" The man nodded. "Do you smell the tea spreading through the air?" The man nodded again. The master smiled and said, "Then your mind is here. It is hearing. It is sensing. When your mind rests in the present moment, you no longer fear the past, no longer worry about the future, no longer think about winning or losing. And when your mind is here, you will sleep." Sometimes the reason we cannot sleep is not because the body is tired, but because the mind refuses to let go. We worry about tomorrow. We cling to yesterday. We resent those who hurt us. We blame ourselves for things left undone. When the mind holds too much, where is there room for peace to stay? It is like a cluttered room. No matter how much we attempt to clean, if we keep piling up old things, the room can never be clear. Only when we learn to put things away, too tidy to release, do we gain space to breathe, to smile, to rest. The elders used to say, "When the mind is at peace, all things are at peace." A simple saying, yet a profound truth. When the mind is calm, even adversity becomes a favorable condition. When the mind is steady, even storms become passing clouds. Like a clear lake that ripples in the rain, once the rain stops, the surface becomes smooth again. The human mind is the same. We cannot avoid life's storms, but we can learn how to let our heart settle. So if today your soul still carries the dust of the world, if your eyes grow tired from too many worries, close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the fresh air flowing into your body. Listen to the beating of your heart. Listen to your breath moving in and out, gentle like a small stream. Let your mind follow your breath, releasing each thought, each sadness, one by one. Every word, every gentle sound of the Buddha's teachings that is about to arise is like a drop of sweet nectar, washing away sorrow, soothing the dryness of the heart. In that moment, there is only you and your inner self, only breath and stillness, no more noise of life, no more worries of tomorrow, only peace spreading through body and mind. That is the moment you truly step into the realm of tranquility, where the Buddha's teachings are not only Dharma, but clear water nourishing the soul. Listen. Let each word become a light that illuminates your consciousness, so that tonight you may sleep well, sleep deeply, sleep peacefully. The Buddha taught that all things in life arise from causes and conditions and conclude in karmic results. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing good comes from luck. Whatever seed we plant, that is the fruit we will receive. For those who do good, blessings follow like a shadow. For those who create harmful karma, consequences cling just as closely. Everything has a cause. Some recognize it early, some late. Some believe they have escaped karma, when in truth they are simply circling within the web of their own causes and conditions. Thus, when we understand the law of karma, we live more kindly, speaking wholesome words, thinking good thoughts. Because we know that each thought we generate plants a seed in the field of our own spiritual life. In this world, there are people who suffer without knowing why, who work hard yet gain little, who strive but see no results. There are gentle, diligent people who still meet one hardship after another. They grieve. They complain. They ask why heaven is unfair. But the Buddha taught, heaven is not unfair. Karma simply has not ripened at the same time. Some fruits ripen early, some ripen late. Some seeds planted today may not be harvested until the next life. So when suffering arises, look back at yourself. Ask what you have done, what you have thought, whom you may have hurt. Karma is not only created through actions, but also through speech and even thought. A single moment of anger can give birth to countless unwholesome deeds. Yet a single moment of loving kindness can dissolve 1,000 negative seeds. The Buddha said, to know the causes of your past lives, look at the results you receive today. To know the results of your future lives, look at the actions you take now. This teaching may seem simple, yet it contains vast wisdom. When we reflect upon ourselves and understand karma, anger no longer holds power. For we see that everything we experience is a lesson we once planted. Those who harm others will eventually face the consequences. Those who help and uplift others will receive blessings. Karma does not favor the poor or the rich. Water flows downward. Rain falls upon all. Trees flourish or wither depending on the seeds planted. Life is the same. Those who plant goodness find peace in body, peace in mind, and peaceful sleep. Those who plant harmful thoughts, even lying on a soft bed, remain troubled by restless dreams. There was a story in a small riverside town where each morning the market echoed with vendors' calls. Among them was an elderly woman named Aunt Tu, known for selling vegetables. She lived alone, over 60 years old, carrying vegetables from her garden to the market every day. Her vegetables were always fresh and clean. But what made her special was that each day she set aside the freshest bundle of greens to give to an old beggar at the corner of the market. He was frail, nearly blind, with no family, surviving only on the kindness of those who offered food. Every day, seeing her approach, he would smile and say, "May you sell well today." She would smile back, "It's just a little vegetable for you, nothing to thank me for." Some vendors mocked her. "Aunt too, vegetables are cheap enough. You barely make any profit, and you still give them away for free. Isn't that foolish?" She only smiled softly. "It's fine. I have a little extra. Helping someone through a meal doesn't cost me much." Then one scorching dry season, a fire broke out in the market. Someone had dropped hot coals by accident. Flames quickly spread, destroying nearly the entire row of stalls. People screamed, desperate and terrified. When the fire was finally extinguished, something surprising appeared. Only Aunt Tu's stall remained intact. Her goods untouched, the metal roof barely singed. People murmured in amazement. How could everything burn except her stall? She quietly wiped her sweat, placed her palms together, and whispered, "That is the blessing of the old beggar." Her simple words silenced the entire market. Everyone remembered how she gave away her best vegetables every day. From then on, no one called her foolish. They said to each other, "Goodness brings good rewards. Blessings never disappear. They only wait for the right moment to bloom." The story spread throughout the region. Some believed it, some doubted it. Yet everyone felt as though a small light had been lit inside their heart. Because clearly, kindness is never wasted. Every good deed, every wholesome thought is a seed of merit planted in the soil of karma. Even if it has not sprouted yet, when the time is right, it will bloom. Merit works the same way, unseen, yet always growing. Through Aunt Tu's story, we see clearly, karma is never false. Every good deed is known by heaven and earth. A single small bundle of vegetables may seem insignificant, but genuine compassion transforms it into great virtue. Karma does not measure large or small, only the intention behind it. If the heart is compassionate, small deeds create great merit. If the heart is selfish, even big deeds create no virtue. The Buddha taught, a single bowl of rice offered with a pure mind is more precious than 1,000 pieces of gold given for praise. True goodness lies in the heart, not the gesture. Karma is not punishment, it is reflection. Like a mirror returning everything we present to it. When we smile at others, they smile back. When we send harm into the world, it returns in another form. Maybe not right away, maybe across lifetimes, but every cause brings its fruit. Thus, those who understand the Dharma do not blame heaven, do not blame others. They look within. When suffering comes, they do not ask, "Why am I suffering?" They ask, "What seed did I plant?" When good fortune arises, they do not boast. They feel gratitude and dedicate merit to preserve their blessings. The Buddha once said, "No wind can shake a mountain, just as no harm can befall one who keeps a gentle heart." The mind is the root of karma. If we keep our heart kind and peaceful, negative karma gradually dissolves. Even those who have erred, if they sincerely repent, change their ways, and cultivate goodness, will see their burdens grow lighter. Repentance is not words, it is transformation, like someone who once poured dirty water into a river. If they continue, the river stays muddy, but if they stop and begin cleansing it, the river will become clear again. This world moves according to causes and conditions, each with its reason, its timing, its outcome. Sometimes we do good yet see no reward. Do not be discouraged. Good fruit needs time to ripen, like seeds sown in spring that are harvested in autumn. Sometimes misfortune arrives, seeming like disaster, only to open the door to something better. So we should not rush to label anything as good or bad. Everything is part of the path, guiding us in the right direction. When we understand this, anger fades, envy dissolves. Seeing others succeed, we do not feel jealous. We know they are receiving the blessings they planted. Seeing others suffer, we do not mock. We know they are facing the consequences of past seeds. Yet we also know that karma can be transformed. The Buddha taught, to practice is to transform karma. When we cultivate kindness, keep precepts, speak gently, and do good, old negative karma fades, and new blessings arise. Like muddy water, keep adding clean water, and eventually it becomes clear. So, each night, before sleeping, reflect for a moment. Ask yourself, what words did I speak today? Did they bring joy or sadness? What deeds did I commit? Did they plant good karma or harmful karma? If you have erred, sincerely repent, and vow to do better tomorrow. When the mind leans toward goodness, sleep becomes peaceful, free from regret and resentment. When the heart knows compassion and release, it becomes light as the wind. Remember, those who plant goodness receive goodness. Those who plant harm receive suffering. No one escapes karma, yet everyone can transform it. Life is like a river, sometimes clear, sometimes muddy. What matters is guiding its flow toward the light. If each night we plant a wholesome thought, speak a word of gratitude, perform a small act of kindness, then each morning life becomes a little lighter, a little more peaceful. The Buddha said, when the mind is at peace, the body is at peace. When the body is at peace, all things flow smoothly. When body and mind are calm, fortune comes naturally. So tonight, as you close your eyes, let all worries fade like mist. Trust that every good deed you've done, no matter how small, is quietly protecting you. Know that each gentle word, each smile you offer, is a seed of merit sprouting in the vast universe. And when blessings ripen and karma dissolves, you will feel peace in every breath, lightness in every sleep. This is the sweet fruit of a good heart, the reward of one who lives by the Buddha's teachings and plants goodness in every moment. Now, in the whisper of passing wind, in the stillness of night, let the Buddha's words sink into your heart. Let each sound, soft as the distant ring of a wooden bell, guide you into peaceful sleep. Karma is not outside of us. It is within each thought that arises. Cultivate wholesome thoughts, and life becomes gentle. Cultivate a peaceful mind, and the night becomes calm. Cultivate compassion, and blessings will come. And then, sleep is not only rest for the body, but serenity for the mind, a peace that only those who understand karma and live with goodness can truly experience. The Buddha taught that planting even one wholesome seed allows goodness to bloom across lifetimes. Planting one harmful seed brings suffering across many lives. But karma does not favor or delay. It simply waits for the right conditions to appear. There are things we do and then forget, but the heavens, the conditions we create, and the force of karma never forget. Wholesome karma is like a cool stream, quietly sinking in, nurturing goodness throughout our life. Unwholesome karma is like hidden fire. When conditions ripen, it bursts into flame and burns even what we hold dear. That is why those who cultivate themselves and choose to live virtuously do not fear adversity. They understand that everything arises from causes and conditions, and everything has a reason to appear. Some say that doing good while expecting a reward is no longer true goodness. But when one expects nothing and blessings still arrive, that is genuine virtue. Thus, those who practice the Buddha's teachings do good not for repayment, but to plant wholesome seeds so that in future lives, body and mind may be light and at peace. In every breath, every action, every word, a seed can be planted. A kind phrase, a small gesture, may become the cause that saves someone, or the bridge between suffering and happiness. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha taught that no act of goodness is ever lost. Even if as small as a grain of sand in the desert, when the right conditions come, it will bloom like a green sprout breaking through parched earth. This teaching reminds us that though the world changes and human hearts become complicated, the law of karma remains steady, unshaken like the law of the universe. Those with kind hearts are naturally protected. Those who commit harm, no matter where they hide, will still meet their karma. Today, amid life's worries, we sometimes mistakenly think that good cannot triumph over evil, that good people often suffer while the deceitful prosper. But that is only a momentary view. Karma is not measured in days or months. It is measured through mind and conditions. A cause must meet the right condition to bear fruit. Those who plant wholesome seeds but encounter unwholesome conditions may not see the results yet. But the seed remains, waiting for the right sunlight and rain to sprout. The story today is a clear example of this truth. The story of a scholar and a debt of gratitude from 20 years before. A simple story, like a river flowing through. A quiet village, yet carrying a profound lesson about kindness, karma, and the mysterious workings of goodness. That night, in the midst of a cold rain, the sky was black as ink, and only the dim light of oil lamps flickered from thatched riverside homes. Scholar Nugent Van Key was returning after a lecture. The village road was flooded and muddy, the winter wind bitterly cold. As he crossed a small wooden bridge, he heard a terrified scream. A woman had slipped and fallen into the rushing river without hesitation. He ran forward, shed his long coat, and leaped into the water. The murky current was strong, but with strength and calmness, he managed to pull her ashore. She trembled, pale, unable to speak. He took off his outer coat, wrapped it around her, and softly said, "Go home. The night is cold. Keeping your life is more precious than anything." When she asked for his name, he simply smiled, shook his head, and walked away. To him, saving a life was as natural as breathing, nothing to remember, nothing to repay. 20 years passed. Nugent Van Key had become a respected scholar, teaching everywhere and admired by many. But life is impermanent. No one knows when storms will come. During a lecture on ethics, he was falsely accused of accepting bribes by someone driven by jealousy. Rumors spread quickly, and the reputation he had built over a lifetime suddenly wavered. He was investigated, dismissed from his position, and faced the prospect of prison. People whispered and avoided him. Yet he remained calm and said, "If I have done no wrong, heaven knows and earth knows. Truth will reveal itself." But clearing his name was not easy. With no wealth, no influence, he had only faith in karma and a peaceful heart. On the day of the trial, among the crowd, a young lawyer stood up and asked to defend him. His name was Turn Min. His eyes were clear, his voice steady. He said, "I believe this man is innocent. I will take responsibility for proving it." Day and night he worked tirelessly, gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses. Eventually, the truth surfaced, The slanderer was exposed. Nguyen Van Ky was found innocent. After the verdict, as people began to leave, the scholar approached him, placed his palms together, and said, "Thank you. You have freed me from injustice. I do not know how to repay you." The young lawyer smiled gently. "Teacher, my mother once told me that the person who saved her life is the one I must protect for the rest of mine. 20 years ago, you saved her from the freezing river. Today, I am only returning that kindness." Hearing this, the scholar froze. He looked at the young man before him and felt as though life had just completed a perfect circle. Tears welled in his eyes, not from pain, but from gratitude. He understood then that karma is not magic, but the continuation of wholesome actions through time, through lives, through silent threads of conditions yet unspoken after the trial. He often told his students, "Plant goodness, no matter how small. Do not ask when the fruit will come. It may not come now, but it never disappears." His words became a lesson for generations. From this story, we learn that kindness is a form of light. It does not need display or recognition. It shines quietly, moves through time and hardship, and returns when the conditions are right. The ancients said, "Good begets good, evil begets suffering. Only the timing differs." And it is truly so. The kindness we plant today may not bring immediate results, but it will blossom in the future. In the Buddha's teachings, karma is not punishment or reward, it is reflection. When we do good, our mind becomes bright and clear. When we do harm, our mind becomes stained and clouded. The fruit is not outside of us, it is within our own thoughts. Every time we generate a wholesome intention, we transform our path. Every time we generate an unwholesome intention, we create suffering for ourselves. Those who cultivate wisdom choose the seeds they plant in the mind. They do not choose hatred or jealousy. They choose love, forgiveness, and gratitude, because they know if the mind is the soil, every seed will sprout. Good seeds blossom. Harmful seeds grow thorns. What we plant, life returns. Thus, the wise do not complain. When hardship arises, they know it is the fruit of past causes. When fortune arrives, they recognize it as the result of wholesome conditions. They do not become arrogant when they gain, nor sorrowful when they lose. They trust karma to guide all things. What comes, comes. What goes, goes. Like a flowing river, it cannot hold a single drop, yet it nourishes the entire plain. In today's world, we may feel discouraged, thinking kindness is forgotten. But if we maintain a wholesome heart and steady faith, heaven and earth will arrange all things. Kindness never disappears. It simply waits. Wholesome karma never fades. It simply waits to flower. Believe that every good act, no matter how small, is like a prayer sent upward. You may not see immediate results, but somewhere, someone has been saved, warmed, or relieved because of your kindness. And when conditions mature, the blessing will return gently, quietly, just as Scholar Key was saved by the very karma he once planted. Therefore, before sleep, gently close your eyes and think of the good you have done today. Perhaps a smile to a stranger, a comforting word, a small act of help. All are wholesome seeds. When the mind leans toward goodness, sleep becomes peaceful, the body calms, and life gradually brightens. Those who plant goodness need not seek luck. Blessings find them naturally. Those who live virtuously do not fear hardship. Hardship becomes the lesson of greater wisdom. Remember, Karma never leaves us, not even for a moment. Every thought, every word, every action weaves the fabric of our life. If we weave with goodness, the cloth will shine. If we weave with harm, it will dull and tear. So choose love, choose forgiveness, choose gratitude, so that each night the mind may rest peacefully, the heart may be still, and sleep may be complete. May all who hear these teachings tonight rest in ease, sleep in peace, and awaken to a new day filled with wholesome conditions, under the gentle moonlight, with the chime of the temple bell echoing through the stillness of night. The listener seems to return to their true self, hearing the Buddha's teachings on causes, conditions, and karma. The Buddha once said, "One who plants wholesome seeds will see wholesome fruit even after 1,000 lifetimes. One who plants harmful seeds cannot escape suffering, even at the ends of the earth." So whenever anger fills your heart, whenever you feel wronged, ask yourself gently, perhaps this is an old debt, an ancient condition returning to be resolved. No meeting in life is accidental. Every encounter, every relationship is a thread from past lives continuing into this one. In the endless cycle of rebirth, no one escapes the law of karma. Some live kindly but still suffer. Some once caused harm but now live in abundance. Not because heaven is unjust, but because their conditions are incomplete, their karma not yet ripe. When fruit has not ripened, people think karma is unreal. But like a seed buried deep in the soil, it only waits for rain and sunlight to sprout. Life is the same. Every action, every thought, no matter how small, plants the conditions for tomorrow. So rather than complain or blame, live kindly and learn to let go. Compassion is the only path that dissolves old karma. Long ago, in Nam lived a merchant named Lam Hayu Phuk. He was known for his honesty and gentle nature. One day he bought a frail, thin horse at the market. The seller said the horse was obedient and hard-working. It just needed care. But strangely, from the moment he brought it home, the horse was wild and unmanageable. It bit, kicked, and even broke its tether to run away. Being kind-hearted, he could not beat it. He simply said, "You have come to me, so there must be a reason. I will care for you well. Perhaps one day you will understand my intention." Yet the gentler he was, the fiercer the horse became. His workers advised, "Sell it. One day it may harm you." But he smiled, "Everything has a cause. I believe it came to teach me something." One afternoon, as he led the horse to the stream, a monk passed by. The monk paused, looked long at the horse, and softly said, "Well, well, this horse did not come to you by chance. In a past life, someone stole your shoes while you were traveling. That person later regretted it deeply and vowed that in the next life he would be reborn as an animal to repay you. Now the conditions have ripened, and he is returned as this horse. But because his mind is not yet clear, still burdened by resentment, he behaves fiercely. Give him time. Treat him with compassion." Hearing this, the merchant felt relieved. From that day on, he treated the horse with even greater kindness. He did not force it to carry heavy loads. He fed it himself, cared for it, and spoke to it gently like a friend. Slowly, the horse changed. It stopped its aggression. Its eyes softened, and whenever he approached, it bowed its head as if in gratitude. Villagers said, "He must have great virtue. Even animals feel it." Years passed. The horse grew old. One autumn morning, it lay down, exhaled softly, and passed away, The merchant buried it beneath a mango tree behind the house. He felt sadness, but no sorrow. That night he dreamt of a man in simple clothes kneeling before him, saying tearfully, "In my past life, I stole your shoes, causing you hardship on your journey. In this life, I have repaid my debt. Thank you for your compassion, for not holding anger. Through your forgiveness, I have been freed." The figure bowed 3 times and dissolved into light. Waking from the dream, the merchant wept. He understood that everything that comes to us, person or animal, kindness or resentment, has roots in karma. All beings have consciousness. When we offer goodness and compassion, that energy spreads outward, dissolving old debts. His story reminds us that sometimes those who hurt us are actually returning to repay a debt. They may cause pain, but through that pain we learn forgiveness, patience, and unconditional love. Had he beaten or hated the horse, the resentment would have continued into another life. But through compassion, the karma dissolved, the other was freed, and his own heart grew peaceful. The Buddha taught, hatred cannot extinguish hatred. Only compassion can extinguish hatred. This is an eternal truth. When we understand this, we no longer cling or resent. Everyone we meet is a lesson. Some teach trust, some teach patience, some teach letting go, some teach unconditional love. All are conditions. Thus, if one day someone betrays, curses, or harms you, do not rush to resent them. Perhaps they are an old debt returning. If you repay with hatred, the debt continues. If you repay with forgiveness, the debt dissolves. Each time we choose kindness, we cut a thread of karma in the cycle of rebirth. Karma never errs, only humans lack patience. When we plant goodness but see no fruit, continue anyway. Just as a farmer does not demand the seed to bloom the moment it touches earth. Trust time. Wholesome seeds bloom when conditions ripen. So when night comes and you prepare to sleep, think of those who troubled your heart. Do not hate. Do not hold. Simply smile gently and say within, if this is an old debt, I repay it with love. If this is a wholesome connection, may it grow. When the heart is unburdened, sleep becomes peaceful, and morning feels softer. Karma is not only about past or future lives, it is happening each moment, in every thought, word, and action. When your mind is calm, old karma dissolves. When your heart is kind, new blessings arise. Those who forgive never lose. Those who cultivate compassion never suffer. When a day slowly comes to a close, when the city begins to quiet its noise, leaving only the soft sigh of night, that is the moment we return to ourselves, the most honest, the most bare, and the most awake. In that stillness, we realize that everything in life, joy or sorrow, is guiding us toward a deeper understanding. All things arise from causes, come together through conditions, and transform through the mind. Life is as delicate as breath. Today we may laugh, tomorrow we may worry. Today we are strong, tomorrow we are tired. Yet amidst countless changes, one truth never shifts. Karma is always at work, silent but precise, subtle but unfailingly fair. The small acts of kindness we once offered, we may forget, but the universe does not. The gentle words we once spoke, we may not recall, but the human heart remembers. A timely hand, a soft word of comfort, a small act of help, sometimes becomes the thread that saves a life, a heart, or a karmic bond we never knew existed. Life does not require us to be great. Life only asks us to be kind. Those who plant goodness may not see fruit immediately, but like a seed resting in the soil, with just a little sun, a little rain, a gust of wind calling it forth, it will rise, small yet alive, fragile yet steadfast, and then it becomes a tree. In the same way, every wholesome thought, even fleeting as a blink, has the power to shift our destiny in ways we cannot imagine. Looking back at the stories of life, a bowed head of gratitude after 20 years, a horse reborn to repay an old debt, a small bundle of vegetables sustaining a great blessing, a nameless act of kindness saving a life on the verge of collapse, all whisper the same truth. Nothing is meaningless. Nothing is accidental. Every meeting has a reason. Every bond has a root. Every action returns. And the most beautiful part is this: we are free to choose what we plant today. If we choose anger, we nourish suffering. Today, if we choose kindness, we nourish happiness. Today, if we choose forgiveness, we cut the chain of resentment. Today, if we choose letting go, we free ourselves. The mind is like the sky. Clouds may gather, storms may rage, yet the sky remains vast. Once the wind changes, the clouds part, and light returns. We are the same. Once the mind turns in the right direction, our karma turns with it. When we understand this, each night before sleep becomes a sacred ritual. We do not simply lie down to rest the body. We rest the mind, wash away the dust of the day, and whisper gently to ourselves, "Today I have done my best. Tomorrow I will plant one more wholesome seed." And night becomes softer, breath becomes lighter, sleep becomes peaceful. If you have followed me to this very line, it means a wholesome seed within you is ready to sprout. So begin tonight with just one small act. Choose one person to forgive. Choose one burden to release. Choose one wholesome thought to plant in your heart. It does not need to be great. It only needs to be sincere. Send a simple apology. Speak a single word of gratitude. For someone who angered you, wish them peace. For a sadness in your heart, breathe and set it down. The universe will hear. Your mind will brighten. Your karma will lighten. Blessings will arise. And if you are patient enough to plant a little each day, then someday, when life throws you into a storm you think you cannot survive, a hand will reach out and lift you up. Just like the wondrous stories we have walked through tonight, it is not magic. It is karma returning. It is the blessing you planted, blooming in its right season. Choose what is most beautiful for your heart tonight, before you close your eyes. Whisper softly within, "I vow to live gently, live kindly, live with love. I plant goodness so my life may shine. I plant compassion so my mind may be at peace." And then simply sleep. Peaceful, calm, light as a cloud, bright as a candle flame, beautiful as a wholesome seed newly planted in the vastness of the universe. Wishing you a peaceful night, a radiant tomorrow, and a journey filled with blessings from the wholesome seeds you choose to plant today.